Welcome to the Money Huddle, a podcast that explores financial topics for families and small business owners. Hosted by Michael Baker and Ross Marinell. All opinions expressed by Michael and Ross or any podcast guests are solely their own opinions and may not reflect the opinions of Planners Alliance. The podcast recording is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Clients of Planners Alliance may maintain positions in securities discussed on the program.
Welcome back to the Money Huddle. My name is Michael Baker, and I'm here with Ross Marinell. Ross, how you living today, buddy?
Woo, man, it's cold in the Carolinas.
It has gone. The temperatures have gone down a little bit, I would say. It's getting to feel a lot like Christmas time around here.
Starting to feel a little bit like football season.
It is starting to feel like football weather. It's we're having a little bit of a change of scenery here in Carolina, home of the Carolina Panthers. There's been some moves at quarterback. If you follow the Panthers or are big into sports, the Carolina's Panthers just placed the former NFL MVP Cameron Newton on the injured reserve list. What are your thoughts about that?
Okay, so somehow today we're going to try and thread the needle.
We are.
NFL quarterbacks in stock investing.
We're going to do around the most random financial topic, but hopefully it's going to be fun. So first, before we even get started, for our compliance team that's going to listen to this before we broadcast it, nothing we say here today is a recommendation to do anything with a stock portfolio. This is purely for fun, and so hopefully you get a laugh out of it. We definitely got a laugh as we put some thoughts together. So Ross, kick us off, buddy.
So our idea today was, since we're in the throes of the NFL season, to our listeners that are football fans, and specifically focus on any NFL football, was to have a little fun today and kind of compare some of the top, most popular NFL quarterbacks and try and find their most closely related stock.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a little comparison, and we're going to kind of bend this back into a little bit about investment behavior and some of the feelings we have towards stock ownership and how that sort of
that's our goal.
applies. So that's our goal. So we started today thinking about Mr. Cam Newton.
That's right.
Fantastic player for the Carolina Panthers. MVP, took us to the Super Bowl, didn't quite win, but has had really a stellar career.
He's by far, or at least arguably the best player in franchise history so far.
Steve Smith might have a little something to say about that, but
I like Smitty, but
so the thought here was with Cam, one of the greatest performers we've had, right?
Sure.
Excellent quarterback for our team, but recently has kind of had a little competition.
Mm-hmm.
And what stock might represent Cam Newton the best? And we came back with Netflix. So first of all, what's going on with Cam has been unfortunate. Cam, has all the tools in the world. Definitely some things from a quarterback's perspective you want to see him improve upon. I'm one person that has been frustrated to no end by the fact that he overthrows receivers. But the thing that's probably made more headlines than his play in the last year and a half, because he's been injured, has been his fashion sense. So if you need to know what I'm talking about, just Google Cam Newton images, and you will know. But Cam, former NFL MVP quarterback, consistently one of the top tier upper echelon players in the league. That's indisputable. However, he's faced some injuries, gone through some adversity, and now starting to see, other players in the league that have the same, if not maybe even a better style of play than him, playing for other franchises. That's right. So to compare him to Netflix, if you think about the history of Netflix, they started literally with what? It was like a DVD service.
Netflix almost pretty much single-handedly, I think, put Blockbuster Video out of business.
So grows through some challenges.
Right.
You think there are competitors that, maybe several years ago, like all the streaming services start to pop up.
Well, they were definitely first. And then you got, Amazon Prime Video came out. And then you have Hulu that comes out. And now you've got, name it, right? You got YouTube TV, Hulu. When you buy a Roku device or an Apple is now in the streaming business.
But think about
everybody's getting involved.
all of the potential threats that they just sort of shrugged off,
Right.
and pushed away up until recently. Kind of sound like Cam. Think about the 5-year return to Netflix. I'm looking at Y charts. 5-year return to Netflix at 39.18%. Sounds a lot like him. We've had a great run. He's been incredible for us. Took us to a lot of victories, right? But the current return is not so great. 1-year return to Netflix down minus 3.83%.
Right. So
Feels a little Cam Newton-ish, doesn't it?
absolutely, it does. Because you're frustrated because you're like, man, like why won't you keep going? But he's dealing with injuries, and right now it's being argued about Cam, like, are his best days behind him? So we just don't know.
So here is our first investment behavioral injection. There is a phenomenon known as the endowment effect. That something that you own personally, is more valuable to you
Because you own it.
That's
right.
Versus what someone else from the outside is willing to pay. Do you think that the Carolina Panthers are feeling a little endowment effect with Cam Newton these days?
Well, our owner, David Tepper, is a billionaire investor. And so I'm not entirely sure that he is going to experience the endowment effect, because I think he wants to win games. And he, has shown, a penchant for taking calculated risks when they make sense and when they don't make sense. Cam Newton's coming into a contract extension year, hasn't played in pretty much 2 seasons. Or, last year he kind of got hurt and he stumbled through the last half of the season before they finally shut him down. This year he didn't even get out of the gate. I don't know if you can sign him like sight unseen for a big contract extension that he's going to demand.
Think, David Tepper, new owner, probably is not going to display.
So I think the fans are going to have the endowment effect.
So here's another one. Okay, this is another investment behavior issue,
right?
And that's recency bias.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happened in the short run, we project to happen over a longer period of time. So Cam's been struggling for the last couple of years. Kind of like, well, let's say recently Netflix. Are you giving up on Netflix? Can they make a rebound? Can they compete in this new environment? Do you really think Cam's not going to come back in a year and be a super level player?
My take on it is from having watched him pretty much for his entire career, I think that Cam can still be a great player in the league. Do I think he's going to recapture the magic of his MVP season? I do not. So in relating
recency bias,
in relating that to Netflix, I think a lot of people with all of these new streaming services, I think Netflix is still going to be in the mix. Do I think they're going to be the unequivocal market leader? I don't, because everybody's getting into the streaming game. Apple's getting into the streaming game, Amazon, and as more and more people switch from cable to streaming services, more and more companies are going to pour money into creating original content and being present. So,
all right,
hey, we appreciate everything you've done, but
thanks Netflix.
It could be time to move on. It could be time to move on.
All right, so Cam is Netflix, and here we go. Now we're moving on to the sizzling, the most fun player to watch play football. This is my opinion.
Is this Jackson?
Is Mr. Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
He put on a video game experience last week. If you had a chance to see the highlights of him play in Cincinnati, and my friend, he looks a lot like Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Is he Disney? Is it magical? Did you come to see it?
It's so funny. So when we were talking about Lamar Jackson, I said, the Baltimore Ravens, man, they're this, storied franchise. I know for the last 10, 15, 20 years, they've been like this stalwart defense. They'll come up and bite you. They've won some Super Bowls. They've had some good success. We don't really talk about them in the same light that we talk about somebody like the Patriots, but Baltimore's up there. But now they got this shiny new object that's running the QB1 for them.
They have. Oh, sure. Disney has the
just
movies.
Like Disney just launched their Disney Plus.
Now they have Disney Plus, and I get to watch The Mandalorian. I'm going to go home tonight and download the Disney Plus because it's Lamar Jackson. Yeah. And how can you miss it?
Well, I know. I remember when they first made the announcement, and downtown Josh Brown was like, "You're gonna buy it." He's like, if you've got small kids at home, you're gonna buy it. Like, don't even at me that I'm not gonna get this, or well, maybe I'll think about it. It's like, you're buying it, and I guarantee you day one of this service launching on, November 12th, I can't wait to see how many subscriptions hit when that thing was available for people to subscribe. Because a lot of people went ahead and pre-ordered, so it's going to be a little skewed with like how many people actually signed up on the day it was available. But I'm guilty. I went and I said, "Oh, I can buy it now."
Like Lamar Jackson, if he's on TV, you've got to see it.
Sizzle.
All right, so Lamar Jackson is Disney,
and he's new enough in the league that it's like, just like Disney Plus is new. It's like, is this going to be the next thing to go to the next level, or will it be all hype?
Very true. We don't know how this is going to end yet, right?
That's
but
right.
we know Disney's up 29.07% 1 year return.
Boom,
So they're
shakalaka.
getting it going. And it's the Lamar Jackson. All right, so now we got one more. We got another one for you here.
Oh, only one more?
Oh,
Okay.
we got a few.
Okay.
We'll see how far we can get.
All right, let's go.
All right. I got to throw a bad one out there. So I have some debate over this, but is Mitchell Trubisky Uber?
Oh, I think so.
Most hyped, right? Here comes
Well,
the
it's-
unicorn IPO. Chicago moves up in the draft to get him.
Right.
Could
They
have
traded
had
up to have it.
a number of great quarterbacks that they
passed
on.
Deshaun Watson to get him.
They passed Deshaun Watson. Did they pass Lamar Jackson, who's Disney? Did they pass Disney?
It's not looking good for the Chicago Bears quarterback right now, for sure. I think isn't Uber the one in their S1 that was like, we don't make a profit. We don't know that we'll ever make a profit.
Well, I mean, one.
There's been more of them,
but yes, Uber
but that
was
sounds
very
like him,
clear.
right? It's like,
Great.
we get him because he's got all the right tools, and we're going to develop him into this, prototype NFL QB.
Didn't have a long college starting career, if I remember correctly, right? Or
No.
didn't have a lot of college success.
No, he didn't even start some of his time
North
at UNC.
Carolina, yep.
He played behind somebody.
So here we have Mitchell Trubisky, the great. So Uber, of course, the famed IPO flame out this year. That's really started, but certainly created awareness over big tech-backed
People started paying
IPOs
attention.
that were losing
Absolutely.
billions of dollars hand over fist, finally creating some pause. And I think Mitchell Trubisky's probably creating a little pause. Do you think they have a little buyer's remorse in Chicago?
So the way I relate to it is that there's a lot of good tools, raw stuff there, but can they make it work? Can Trubinsky figure out how to be, an upper tier NFL QB, or is he going to be average to mediocre?
Just listening to you makes me think, is Uber going to be profitable?
That's what I'm saying.
Golly. So Uber's performance this year in the few months, 6 months or so that it's been trading, minus 28%.
Exactly.
Minus 28.01%.
And that pretty much, if you probably threw up did a chart crime and threw up Trubinsky's QBR rating with that stock, probably they're going to look very similar. It's not going to be looking very good.
All right.
That's my thing is can he put tools together? Can Uber figure it out?
All right. So here we have, going back to the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Brady.
I mean, virtually inarguable.
There is no argument. There's no argument. This guy is going to compete for another Super Bowl.
Listen, I'm from Indiana. I love Peyton Manning as much as anybody.
I do. I think Peyton's awesome.
You
He's
can't
not the GOAT.
with good conscience say he's the GOAT. He's not.
No.
It's Tom Brady. So Tom Brady. No, we had a few stocks to pick from here.
This is a little tougher than we thought it was going to be.
But if you really look at the long-term performance plus what's happening now,
Right.
he's Microsoft.
He's Microsoft. Yep.
Microsoft this year.
Created. And you know what? Just like Microsoft, we got Bill Gates. We got Bill Belichick.
Oh gosh.
Come
All
on.
right, I'm with you. So listen to this. Microsoft 1 year return. Again, I'm pulling these stats from White Charts. 39.93% return. Sounds a lot like the Patriots this year.
Just
rolling.
all the right things.
Here's the thing. The 10-year return, 20.25%. It's just consistent
Crushing it.
overperformance.
And one of the things that I've heard, I don't know if I've subscribed to it, but Brady is oftentimes they pair his success a lot of times with Bill Belichick, And I look at, Microsoft, this great company, but, the technology sector just continues to explode and innovate, and they're right there in the thick of it. So I agree with.
But I kind of think about it. All right, here's the one. Here's the one thing I'm going to throw out there. Microsoft has tremendous recurring revenue through the Microsoft Office suite, Word, Excel. Are we going to be using Word in 5 years? 10?
I don't know. I mean,
isn't this technology in some ways a little antiquated? Have you opened up PowerPoint lately?
No.
Come on.
But I use Apple. I'm
it's not 1995
Mac user, so I know there got to be people that still use PowerPoint.
But when I look at it,
you dinosaurs,
it looks antiquated.
You PowerPoint dinosaurs out there.
It feels like DOS. Do I have a floppy disk that comes with this?
You know what they say? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And
Tom Brady's like
40,
43 years old, still back there slinging passes in the NFL. So more power to him.
All right. So on that, I've got another controversial one.
Okay.
Let's
go.
Because this is a player who has had some success recently, but it's kind of like this year. You could really see it wasn't there. Okay, the wheels kind of fell off, and this is my man Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, all right.
Rams quarterback, who has signed a huge deal. He's owed over $100 million.
This would be. Is this Jared Goff that played in the Super Bowl last year?
Yes.
Okay.
Who this year?
Or earlier this year, I should say.
Who this year looks bad.
Not so good.
Listen, is he WeWork?
Is he
WeWork?
Oh man, we went back and forth because I think Baker Mayfield might be WeWork.
Listen, I don't even
agree to disagree. I think I think Goff has got more tools there.
Here's why I say WeWork, because they got SoftBank, who has been involved in the investing of WeWork and has now committed an insane amount of money to WeWork. Kind of feel like the Rams. They've got so much money committed to Goff.
Yeah.
That at some degree it has to work, because it's otherwise what are you going to do with him? You can't. Who's going to take his contract and trade him? You're kind of stuck with him. That's kind of why I was like, the comparison to WeWork is like SoftBank to WeWork is like the Rams to Goff. It's going to have to work. Speaking of Baker, I got one for Baker. You ready?
All right. So I think Baker's WeWork. You think Goff is WeWork.
Okay. So here we go. So our man Baker Mayfield, Cleveland Browns quarterback.
Yeah.
This guy has more commercials on the air than any other.
Dude, his commercials are hilarious. Have you seen the one where he's looking for like the smoke detector with the beep?
Listen,
I'm not gonna lie. I laughed out loud because that's real life right there, buddy. That's real life. If you've had a house and one of your fire alarms is tweaking, and you don't know how to get it out.
No doubt. So, not saying he makes bad commercials, but he makes a lot of them. And he gets a lot of commercials before they've really had any. Come on, what have the Browns really accomplished?
They won some games last year,
like a few. Like not
they
a lot.
Had 2 years they didn't win a game, and they won like 6 or 7 last year.
They didn't go to the playoffs. This man's got as many commercials as Peyton Manning, and Manning's winning the Super Bowl.
They were front running the season. I mean, they loaded up this year. I'm not gonna lie. We were all before the season thinking.
All right, you're speaking my language because I'm gonna sell you on this stock right here.
Here we go.
Here you go. So listen, we had a little taste of success. You're in the not too distant past, but then this year it's just like. My man is beyond meat. He's beyond. Tell me he's not.
He had the pop right out of the gate.
The immediate pop. The darling of investors. Everyone's talking about it. Look at Beyond Meat. This man is all sizzle, no steak.
It's revolutionary. It's revolutionary.
So now what we know is fake meat tastes bad. You know?
Fake meat.
He tastes bad.
I can't. Next time I see Baker Mayfield on TV, I'm gonna think about fake meat.
You're telling me that Baker Mayfield doesn't have a 3-month return in negative 52.77%?
Man, dude, it's not been a good
he's
year.
In lockstep.
It's not been a good year.
Fast pop.
He had something really bad. Didn't he throw the ball like right to a defender? I mean, it wasn't quite like Mark Sanchez's butt fumble, but it was pretty awful. He's had a rough go.
Here's what I know. I sold you on Baker being beyond me.
Okay. All right. So Goff can be WeWork and Baker can be beyond me.
He has to be. Goff has to be WeWork because of the debt. The contract that he is committed to.
Right.
All right, last one. This is the honest to gosh. This is the last one.
All right,
Are you ready?
I might have one more, but
All
let's
right.
go.
The man who looks the most, he looks incredible this year, making his case for MVP.
Okay.
My man Russell Wilson in Seattle.
Russell
is
Wilson.
playing incredible. Did you see his fourth quarter comeback against San Francisco last week?
I did not, but I saw people writing about it saying like that felt like a playoff Super Bowl caliber game.
He has a nose for the end zone. He knows how to win. He wins.
He's a winner.
He's a winner. He is Amazon.
You got Russell Wilson as Amazon?
I got Russell Wilson as Amazon. MVP,
yeah.
candidate of the year. It's been consistent for a while.
Okay.
It hasn't been. This isn't a flash in the pan success. We've got multiple years, and he's hitting his stride. And I think you've got multiple years behind Amazon, and they're just hitting their stride.
Okay, I can get behind that. I can get behind that. I was actually gonna say I was gonna say that my boy Drew Brees might be Amazon. You know, because Drew Brees, dude, just gets it done. But yeah, I know he's been around for a while, so he's just he's probably my favorite player on a team that I don't watch and typically want us to beat as a Panthers fan. But I have a hard time pulling against him personally because I think he's just such a great dude.
Listen to this. Amazon.
All right.
5-year return, 40.83%.
Okay.
That's Russell.
All right.
That's hustle and bustle Russell right there.
Hustle and bustle, Russell.
So that's it. That's all that. So that's our quarterback stock comparison for the
Right out of the
2019
gate
football
today.
season.
You know, we had some companies. Would Nick Foles be GE? Just bottomed out, got hurt. You know,
Popular name.
It's been fun. It's been fun. So we probably owe it to you if you endured us this highly indulgent podcast. If you endured us this long, we'll probably tell you how we came about this. So we were talking the other day about, the market's been doing well. We're on this, what we think to believe, or at least we believe here, a secular bull market here. And, a lot of folks have done well. They've been rewarded for taking equity risks. Some people are now even maybe even chasing returns a little bit, loading up on U.S. large cap, which is as an asset class has done very well, and they're reluctant to get rid of. They're reluctant to install principle-based behavior. They're just trying to juice up on returns. And we were talking about that and I related it to Cam Newton. I said, a lot of us Panther fans, we're nostalgic for watching Cam in his prime MVP years, but we have to be realistic about, do we think the next 5 to 6 years for him are going to be what they were the last 5 to 6 years? And I think if we take a hard look in the mirror, it's probably not the case. It's probably time for us to, look at a trade or looking to part ways. And that's not going to be popular, but it's probably the right long-term decision for both the player and the franchise. And that's what we're talking about with people in their certain portfolios. A lot of people, they invest a certain way and they have a certain type of behavior when they're trying to accumulate assets and grow their wealth. But when they get ready to retire or start moving into retirement, some of that needs to shift and be reevaluated, because a retirement portfolio should not be handled the same way as an accumulation or a growth portfolio. And that's kind of like what got us all started on this path of, what quarterback is your favorite stock is your quarterback. So that was a fun exercise for us. We had a great time. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you disagree with our assessments, let us know. Shoot us an email at themoneyhuddle@vcplanning.com.
Who did we miss? Let us know who we missed. And
or if you got some other quarterbacks that you want us to, who would this be? Definitely give us a comment on the Facebook page. Let us know what you thought of the episode. As always, we thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.